Hey guys, welcome back to Zen Vitality. So, we are super excited to talk about oily skin today. We see so many people struggling with excess oil and shine. It can be really frustrating, right? But don't worry, we've got some amazing tips and tricks to share with you. We're going to cover everything from cleansers to clay masks, and even some lifestyle changes that can make a huge difference. Now, before we start, I just want to remind you that everyone's skin is unique. What works for one person might not work for another, so it's all about finding what's best for you. Okay, so let's get started with our journey to healthier, less oily skin. Alright, so let's talk about what's actually going on with oily skin. Basically, oily skin is caused by overactive sebaceous glands. These glands produce sebum, which is the oil that keeps our skin moisturized. Now, there are a few factors that can contribute to oily skin. Genetics play a big role. If your parents have oily skin, you're more likely to have it too. Hormones are another major factor, which is why oily skin is so common during puberty, menstruation, and pregnancy. Environmental factors like humidity and heat can also increase oil production. And then there's stress. Yeah, stress can actually make your skin produce more oil. It's important to understand that oily skin isn't all bad though. It actually has some benefits, like fewer wrinkles as you age. But I know that doesn't make it any less annoying to deal with on a daily basis. Okay, so let's talk about cleansers. This is really important, guys. When you have oily skin, you might be tempted to use harsh, stripping cleansers to get rid of all that oil. But trust me, that's not the way to go. So, what we want to do is use a gentle, non-comedogenic cleanser. Look for ingredients like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. These can help control oil without over-drying your skin. Now, I always recommend double cleansing for oily skin. Start with an oil-based cleanser to break down makeup and sunscreen. Then follow up with a water-based cleanser to remove any remaining impurities. And here's a pro tip. Use lukewarm water, not hot water. Hot water can stimulate oil production. Oh, and don't forget to pat your face dry gently with a clean towel. Rubbing can irritate your skin, and guess what? Yep, more oil production. Now, let's move on to toners and moisturizers. A lot of people with oily skin think they can skip moisturizer, but that's actually a big mistake. You see, even oily skin needs hydration. When your skin is dehydrated, it can actually produce more oil to compensate. For toners, look for ones with ingredients like witch hazel, niacinamide, or glycolic acid. These can help control oil and refine pores, but be careful not to overuse them, as that can lead to irritation. Now, for moisturizers, you want something light and oil-free. Gel or lotion formulas are usually great for oily skin. Look for ingredients like hyaluronic acid, which hydrates without adding oil. And don't forget about ceramides. They help strengthen your skin barrier. Oh, and here's a tip. If you're really oily, you might want to use a lighter moisturizer during the day, and a slightly richer one at night. Okay guys, let's talk about one of my favorite treatments for oily skin, clay masks. There are different types of clay you might see in masks. Kaolin, bentonite, and French green clay each have unique benefits. When you're using a clay mask, don't let it dry completely on your skin. Remove it when it's still slightly damp. Clay masks absorb excess oil, help remove impurities, and can even help minimize the appearance of pores. Don't use clay masks too often. Once or twice a week is usually plenty. Here's a pro tip. You can use clay masks as spot treatments on particularly oily areas, like your T-zone. Now let's talk about sunscreen. I know a lot of you with oily skin hate sunscreen because it can feel greasy and heavy. Look for terms like oil-free or non-comedogenic on the label. Mineral sunscreens with zinc oxide or titanium dioxide are often great for oily skin. If you prefer chemical sunscreens, look for lightweight gel formulas. Apply your sunscreen in 2 thin layers rather than 1 thick layer. This can help it absorb better and feel lighter on your skin. Don't forget to reapply every 2 hours if you're out in the sun. It's so important for keeping your skin healthy. Alright, let's talk makeup. When you have oily skin, makeup can be a bit tricky. First, always start with a good primer. Look for one that's specifically designed for oily skin. When it comes to foundation, less is more. Opt for lightweight, oil-free formulas and apply with a damp beauty sponge. For concealer, go for oil-free formulas. Set everything with a translucent powder, focusing on your T-zone. With the right products and techniques, you can achieve a natural matte finish that lasts. Keep some blotting papers on hand for touch-ups throughout the day. They're great for absorbing oil without messing up your makeup. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Your diet can actually affect your skin's oil production. Some studies have shown that consuming a lot of dairy can increase oil production and acne. Foods with a high glycemic index can also increase oil production. Try to eat more foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids and zinc. These can help regulate oil production. Drinking plenty of water is actually really important for oily skin. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water a day. Green tea can be great for oily skin. It's full of antioxidants and can help regulate oil production. With the right diet and hydration, you can see a real improvement in your skin's oil production and overall health. Okay, so we've talked about skincare and diet, but there are some other lifestyle factors that can affect oily skin too. Let's start with stress. Yeah, stress can actually increase oil production, so finding ways to manage your stress can help your skin. Try things like meditation, yoga, or even just taking a few deep breaths when you're feeling stressed. Exercise is another important factor. It increases blood flow to your skin, which can help regulate oil production. Just make sure to cleanse your face after working out to remove sweat and bacteria. Now, let's talk about sleep. Getting enough sleep is so important for your skin. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more stress hormones, which can increase oil production. Oh, and here's something you might not have thought of. Your pillowcase. Change it regularly, at least once a week. And one last tip. Try to avoid touching your face throughout the day. Your hands carry a lot of bacteria, and the heat from your hands can stimulate oil production. Alright guys, we're almost done. But before we wrap up, I want to talk about some common mistakes people make when dealing with oily skin. First off, over-cleansing. I know it's tempting to wash your face multiple times a day when it feels oily, but this can actually make things worse. Stick to washing twice a day and use blotting papers in between if needed. Another mistake is skipping moisturizer. Like we talked about earlier, even oily skin needs hydration. Don't skip it. Using alcohol-based products is another no-no. They might feel like they're controlling oil at first, but they can actually dry out your skin and lead to more oil production in the long run. Oh, and here's a big one, using the wrong sunscreen. Don't skip sun protection just because you're worried about it making your skin oily. There are plenty of great options out there for oily skin. And finally, be patient. Skincare takes time. Don't expect overnight results and don't keep switching products too quickly. Give new products at least a few weeks to see how they work for you. Okay guys, we've covered a lot today. From understanding what causes oily skin to choosing the right products and making lifestyle changes, you now have a ton of tools to help manage your oily skin. Everyone's skin is different, so it might take some trial and error to find what works best for you. Don't get discouraged if something doesn't work right away. Keep at it and you'll find your perfect routine. Oh, and keep in mind that oily skin can change with seasons, hormones, and age, so be prepared to adjust your routine as needed. If you're still struggling after trying these tips, it might be worth seeing a dermatologist for personalized advice. And hey, having oily skin isn't all bad. It can actually help your skin age more slowly. So embrace your skin type and focus on keeping it healthy. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more skincare tips. Until next time, take care of that beautiful skin of yours.